Oh, yeah. We are back with another Real to Real podcast. And as always, I am Joey Samiti here with Kevin Ramsamy and Alex Dargay.
What's going on?
Special guest today, we have Ryan Steigmeier, owner and operator of Black Tie Title in Strongsville, Ohio. What's up, Ryan?
Not much, man. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Also an absolute beast in the gym. Let's go, baby.
Yeah. Used to be a beast in the gym. I'm a beast in the kitchen.
Beast in the kitchen? Yeah. Beast on the Racino?
Yeah, I'm a beast on the Racino.
Yeah.
Horse whisperer, Mr.
Horse
Texas
master.
State Brazil himself.
33 days in a row, Texas State Brazil. 33 days in a row.
So why'd you do that again?
I was on a meat-only thing where I was only eating meat.
That's such an accomplishment.
33. Oh, I know. I still hold the record out there. Every time I walk in there, they tell me, you're the guy that came 33 days in a row.
They remember you?
Well, yeah.
That's awesome.
I had to tip them every time I went.
They probably give you
take
so
care
much
of them.
Good service.
Yeah, the one kid, after the 33 days in a row, we went down Indians game, and we're buddies.
Yeah?
Yeah, really nice guy, yeah.
And by the time he sits at the table, they already have the bacon wrapped chicken ready for him.
They know what I want. Bacon wrapped chicken.
They got a full, sphere of it just ready.
Yeah. For the viewers that don't know, Texas State Brazil is one of the best restaurants in Westlake, Ohio, probably Cleveland.
That's actually where I met Kevin.
Yeah, that's true.
Is it?
We all met there. Yeah, it was the one time, remember, when you just left because you felt like shit?
I was bad that night.
Yeah.
It's a rough night.
But no, I met Kevin there, and I think Tanner there. Tanner was there, right?
Was Tanner there? Or was it?
Yeah.
It was Tanner, yeah.
Yeah, we did drag him
Texas
through
State
that the
Brazil.
one time. I felt bad.
Yeah,
Yep. Never again, yeah.
Potatoes.
Oh,
He had scalloped potatoes.
I forgot about it. I didn't even know about that at the time. But then I figured it out. That's funny.
Vegetarians, man. What are you going to do?
He's still grinding on the vegetarian.
I respect the hell out of it, yeah.
Man, I tried it, but I just couldn't do it at all. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I can't.
I don't know what to eat that would fill me up.
Nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Lettuce
Lettuce and
asparagus.
Rice.
You're a fucking horse at that point. I mean, look how big horses are, though. You think it makes...
That's true.
You would think
That's true,
it would do something.
Yeah.
Just eat grass and be jacked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I tried not to go vegan, but I tried to do a couple days in a row, and it wasn't too bad. I mean, I was going to Chipotle and getting the freaking, what are they, sofritas or whatever. And it wasn't bad.
What is that? Is that good?
It wasn't terrible. I don't know. I didn't even know what it tasted like, really.
I don't even know what it is.
Tell, but I don't know. It wasn't that bad.
I'm a huge Chipotle guy, though.
Yeah. I've had plenty of burritos at Chipotle, yeah. But at Chipotle, I get them with no meat, though.
Really?
Yeah. I get a veggie burrito.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Why?
I don't know. I don't know.
It's just what you do.
I'm just not eating that meat. Yeah, it's not Texas State Brazil. I don't touch it.
Fair enough.
I don't know.
Texas State Brazil top sirloin is my favorite.
Top sirloin salad. The chicken bacon is hands
top
down my favorite.
I just like the big fat ring around on the steak.
You're one of the few guys that like that fat ring, though. That marbling.
Dude,
you like that marbling,
I love the marbling, yeah.
I know, I was surprised.
It's so good.
People are super picky about that. They shave it off.
Yeah, I do. I don't like any fat. I like lean meats.
Yeah.
Lean brisket, lean meats.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what I like.
So yeah, let's dial it back a little bit.
Yeah.
So Ryan, I know we've introduced a whole bunch of different names to you, the King of Texas, whatever. Give us a little introduction about yourself. What you do.
So obviously, my main venture is title. We own a title company in Strongsville. We have an office in Miami. We're currently getting ready to stretch into Toledo market. So.
Nice.
That's my main focus is title, and obviously that's how we all know each other. But outside of title, I'm really passionate about horse racing and golf. Mm-hmm. So either one of those two things fill my time when I'm not doing title. But to be honest with you, man, I'm doing a lot of title.
Yeah,
so.
You seem to be busy a lot.
Yeah,
Coming up here.
We've been, the market's been very brisk for us, for you guys. It's been a hot year for sure.
Yeah,
We've been
100%.
slammed every day.
Oh, yeah. What inspired you to open up your own title business?
Well, I had worked in title at some other shops. I thought that we could probably do things a little bit better. And I like to have full control of what I'm doing anyways. So I think it was just a natural progression was I was going to do it myself, and that's,
Did you know Nick before?
So Nick was actually a client. Nick was a realtor, and he did a nice job, and he became a client of mine, and we struck up a friendship, and he was always interested why the deals that we would do would close quicker than the ones he had at other shops. And, we discussed it, and he wanted to venture into title, and I said, I don't know if you really want to do that, but we ended up doing it. So I'm glad we did. Yeah, it's been really solid.
Yeah, you guys are doing solid.
Yeah.
So he runs the office in Miami then?
Yeah, he's back and forth. He runs a shop in Miami, and then he comes up here probably once or twice a month and dials it in on the operations side and meets with a couple of the larger clients that he has, and we get to catch up on everything, what's going on down there, what's going on up here, what we can do better.
Are they both like equally as busy, you think? You guys got a lot going on down there?
Yeah, they're both pretty busy. I would say it's different. The transactions up here are much smaller. The ones in Miami very rarely they under 700,000 to 3 million. We've done them down there. I mean, they're big. They're large transactions. So.
Yeah, for sure.
So you don't need nearly as many to garner as much revenue. But I mean, we're busy in both for sure.
Nice.
Yeah, both markets are solid. And then, like I said, we've been pushing into Toledo. We've had a really nice reception there. People have been fantastic. Really nice people. And really, to my surprise, when we got into downtown Toledo, it was beautiful. Like I did not expect. Downtown Toledo has really been developed out in the last.
It's really nice.
In the last 15 or 20 years, because I used to play hockey, so we were always going through Toledo on the way to Detroit, and it was like you would go around Toledo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Toledo now, man, it
really
was
nice.
impressive. Yeah, it was very impressive.
The last 4 years, when I went to BG, I would drive through Toledo all the time. I was like, this place.
This place sucks. Kevin and I both went to BG, and I was up there a few times, and I was like,
no, I actually last week I went down because the Mud Hens were playing, right? So they've built the stadium like right into the middle of the city. The hotel overlooks the. It was a great night. Had a couple people come out.
I've been
with
to
me.
a Mud Hens game.
Have you?
Yeah.
It's nice.
Well, it got rained out actually, but I was in the stadium.
Yeah,
So,
well, I mean, you can find something to do there.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah. There's bars everywhere.
Yeah. No, they're all around the out
That's where I was
perimeter.
camping out at.
Yeah, no, it was.
You ever been to the Heights?
No, where's the Heights at? That'll be my next
It's
one.
in a what's it? I think it's a Renaissance hotel. It's like a rooftop. Rooftop bar.
So I've been staying at the Hilton Garden, which is literally right across the street from the baseball stadium. The Renaissance a little bit further down the road.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Renaissance I think is on the water side.
Yeah, it's on the water side.
Yeah. But they've developed out that waterfront. They never had that before.
No, it was awesome.
So it does really look nice, and
Do you guys know where you're gonna open up a location over there?
Well, I think it'll be probably more of a suburb or something like that. We've looked at Perrysburg, and then we've looked at a couple spots in Michigan. So recently we've taken on a couple new partners, and it's going to give us the ability to push the company out a little bit more and really continue the growth trajectory.
Definitely. Why'd you guys decide to go with Toledo?
So we'd gotten a couple deals there, and they went very smooth, and the reception was very good when we would follow up on the warm calls, and I just thought, like, man, it's a little bit different down there. So like in northeastern Ohio, I know we have like the ABAs and the ACTs and all of that stuff, but in Toledo they really don't have that.
Really?
So it's much more like it's not a transactional relationship. These are like more personal relationships, and I find that to be what I like to focus on anyway. So it works better for me.
Do they just not have it at all, or is it just a lot less?
There's a couple shops that have them, but just like with anything else, when you have them, I mean, you're just gonna. I mean, you can either, like we've talked about it, you can either pay the realtors or you can pay the employees, but you can't play both. The margins aren't that big, so if you're going to pay both, you're probably going to suffer on the operations side, and that's just the way it's going to be. And some people aren't going to mind that. As long as they get their check, they're going to be fine with that. But maybe on the operations side, you lose a little bit. So
yeah, and clearly you guys are doing very well. What about black tie and you guys? What are you guys doing different that's letting you stand out? And
well, I think the one thing that we do that's really different is the relationships are transactional. I want the people that I do business with, I want to like them, and I want them to like me. And if it's a friendship, obviously you feel a lot more connected to that person, and you don't want to let them down. And I think that's the way that I run the business is all the people that are my clients are genuinely my friends, and it's like, yeah, you want these guys to get paid on time, you want to do a good job for them, and that's the way I do it, So we have some larger institutional buyers and stuff. You don't need that, but my personal business is very heavily weighted residential, and it's really relationship based business. So I mean that's what we try to do is develop the strong relationships.
100%.
Definitely preferred.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so.
Even like using Black Tie Title, I know I can call you, and you're like the owner, operator. I can call you directly and just say, hey, like this deal is going through this, and this, and we've sat down and talked about a couple deals that were completely screwed up or bombing or something, or the title was messed up, and we sat down and fixed it.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I mean, if you can figure out a way to get these deals closed if you really want to. Yeah. It's just that if you're at just like a super high volume place, just that one deal doesn't really matter that much to them. Every deal that we do matters, because every deal that we do, I'm cutting a check to myself the same time you guys get yours.
Exactly.
And I want a check, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
it's like, yeah, we take calls on the weekend, we take calls at night. I mean, there are no work hours. Our hours are whenever we can get the stuff done, and whenever we need to do, we do it.
Yeah, and I can vouch this dude answers the phone whenever you
Doesn't
call.
matter.
If he doesn't,
He'll answer on like the first or second ring.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
What's
always. It's good
He's
business.
ready to go.
Yeah.
It's good
You
business.
can hear his phone exploding over there right now.
No, I mean it and I'm really fortunate too, because the people that work at Black Tie have the same mindset. So it's more of a culture too. Like it's really rooted in, helping our clients get from A to Z as quickly as we possibly can.
Yeah.
Because at the end, everybody gets paid and everybody's happy.
It's all about building that culture. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like your team, the people you surround yourself with, it reflects on who you are, what you do as a business, and how you operate. So if it makes a difference, always having that culture and the good people behind you, it means better transactions, I think, and just a better overall experience for that.
It's just and I'll tell you, look, obviously I'm not in all these other title shops during the day, but I have been in other title shops, and I mean, just the vibe is way different. It's a much more upbeat. It's not a gulag. You know what I mean? People are not coming in there and dreading going to work. It's not that kind of setup.
Right.
Right. We take care of them, and in return, we just need an effort. We'll take care of all the high level stuff. Just come in and do what you know how to do. Something you've been doing for 30 years. Come in there and nail it. That's all we need.
Word.
I've definitely visited a lot of.
So I mean, you've had an experience.
Yeah. Oh my God, it was like you walk in there, everyone's like
boring.
Everyone's sitting at their desk. Like you can't even tell that they're doing their job. They're not even excited about it. Like nobody's really responding super, enthusiastically. Not like you have to. We're all human, but at the same time, at least give me some effort. Show me that you're actually invested into this deal.
Well, I mean, people in general, there's, we do like to be incentivized, right? So we do a lot of incentivizing of our employees. We want them to feel like, they basically own a piece of the business as well. They're vested in that business, and if they do a great job, they're going to feel it.
Right.
If it's just they do a great job and then I'm driving around in a Lamborghini, it just doesn't work.
It's like, what the hell?
You know what I mean?
Right.
It just doesn't work. It's got to be a collective, and if you look at business that way, I think it just works a lot better.
100%.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I mean that's the way we do it.
When did you guys open?
2018, the first month we were in business, we did one order. And then last month we did 270.
Damn.
What was going through your mind then in the beginning when you did one order?
What was going through my mind was, man, I told Nick I didn't want to do this fucking title.
I hope you're
I
watching.
wanted to go back to Louisville with the horses, but
Yeah.
but we persevered and grind, and we just stayed on the grind and just keep pushing it out.
Great things take time. And look at you guys now.
Yeah, it does take time, and really to build a business, no different than what anybody at some point in this business, everybody starts somewhere, right? And I mean, you can't just give up at the beginning. It's going to be tough. You have to continue to persevere and grind it out. Otherwise, you're gonna regret not doing it.
So was it a slow build up, or were there a lot of up and downs that first year or so?
I think we've made some mistakes that we've learned from. So I mean, there were definitely some major pullbacks that hurt us, and with the market fluctuations, with COVID, obviously, and all the crazy stuff that we've had over the last couple of years. I mean, it probably wasn't the ideal time to start a new business. Mm-hmm. But I would say over the last 3 years, we've been really on a kick-ass trajectory.
Really?
Yeah, you can, we're really into the metrics and the numbers, and you can definitely tell, like, what we're doing is working, and we're just going to keep doing it. We're going to keep grinding it.
Only after a year you started seeing, like, the exponential growth?
Yeah, I would say after about a year and a half. So, the first year, we committed to the process of just getting it going, not taking any money out, putting everything back into infrastructure, building a business the way you're really supposed to build it. And then I think the second year we were hoping to maybe drive some more money out of it, but it just wasn't there yet. But I think organically the third year, fourth year, fifth year has really been where we've seen the growth.
Yeah.
So when you say infrastructure, like what kind of things do you guys invest into as a
So obviously our software is cutting edge. It's the best in the business. I think it cuts title time by 60%. It's really good. Not to talk like all this title stuff because it's going to put you to sleep, but like the software I think is really good. I think the infrastructure with the people, getting the right people in there, the right culture, building out the culture you want. We don't have any turnover ever. We don't have people that are storming out of the office that are having a bad day. We just don't have that stuff. So I think that all matters.
Yeah, for sure.
And and then obviously like when we started in an office maybe that wasn't great, and we're in a great spot now. I think the next step, and we've been pushing out lately, is to buy a building and probably put the shop in there and continue to scale. That's where our that's where we have set our sights, is scaling, and that's what we're going to do.
You definitely need an office. Even this has helped me, like, sure. Like,
this is great.
Yeah.
You guys,
just to get everyone together and kind of, everyone has the same goal, you're doing your thing. It just helps out with your business.
Well, it creates like an energy, right? Like and you see other guys grinding, and then it makes you want to go out and really kill it. This guy's doing something, you're doing something, he's doing, and everybody wants to build off of their success. That's a real thing.
Yeah.
Right. And look, title isn't sexy by any means, right? I think we can wrap up
sexy.
The title.
You see who's sitting next to you?
Yeah, we can make it sexy. But look, as realtors, I feel like most realtors don't even know what title is. Like, they just hand it off to you guys. Title, escrow, these are just words. What % of realtors do you think actually know what title is?
So, I think they know what it is. They know that it's the vehicle to get their check, but do they really understand what goes into it? I would say probably no. But, I don't necessarily think that they need to know exactly what title is. If you're using a good provider and you're happy with your provider and you have a great relationship, your provider should be able to give you everything you need.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, very few.
Yeah. Figured you know more than me, but
very few.
A lot of people I talk to have no clue. They're just words to them.
Yeah, no, we get you guys paid. So you want to get paid on time. You want to use a company that knows how to get through the transaction and make sure that your clients are happy, so you can retain the referral source and can continue to grow your business. That's the whole idea.
Yeah. So I didn't know this. I kind of still don't. It might be a dumb question, but other people might be wondering, how do you get paid in title?
That's actually a good question.
How do you make money in title?
Well, it's volume based, obviously, because our margins are pretty thin.
Yeah.
So, like you'll have 7 or 8 fees in there that are fluid that title can really control. There's a lot of pass-through fees, and there's a lot of fees that are mandated by the state. So, when you look at that settlement statement, those 7 or 8 fees there, that is really where we drive our money from, and then the policy, of course.
Okay.
So you're gonna have policy on any title deal that you do. You're gonna have policy because we're issuing policy. We're an insurance company.
Right.
So that policy it moves depending on how much the house is. The more expensive the house, the higher the policy split between the buyer and the seller.
So you make more money if it's like a $2 million house rather than like a
you do
$200,000?
You do, but I wouldn't say it's it's significantly. Look, if you're buying a $100,000 house versus a $200,000 house, I don't really think it's that big of a difference. Honestly, it might be a couple $100. Okay. It's not, and that's really the difference in like an expensive title company versus one that they're cheap or they're too expensive. It's $200,000-$300,000, guys. You're buying a house that's $300,000-$400,000.
Right.
Like if you want the cheeseburger, go down to the cheeseburger shop. If you want the steak, you can come to Black Tie. If you want the steak, you know what I mean? I don't know. But that's really what it is. we are pretty much mandated on what we can charge. I can't just slap a charge on there that's just like,
Right.
it just doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't.
Interesting.
So let's talk Stiggy on a more personal level.
Okay.
So I know we've got to know you, a little more personal. One of the most generous dudes I know.
Yeah, try to be. That's a real thing.
God, yeah.
Being a good guy is a real thing. It's helped me in my life just giving back, and like we're very philanthropic. Like we do a lot of give back to the community.
I feel like every weekend you've got some charity event going on, or
always. So that's a big thing. Like we're very blessed to be in a position that we're in, and no different than what we do with our employees. It's the same way. Like you want to give back. It's important.
It's awesome.
As I get older too, I want to give back more. Like maybe when I was younger, it's like, maybe we'll slide a little bit more in my pocket. But you know what I mean? But now it's just like, you get to a point where you're, business is good, you're doing good, your people are happy, and then it's like, well, what else can we do? What other impactful things can we do?
Bless yourself and bless others.
You know what I mean? Yeah, that's it, and it's important. So if you ever go to our, probably nobody does, but if you ever go to our website, if you go on the philanthropy section, if you go to the philanthropy section, like it'll show you the things that we're into, and like what we've done, and Nick and I have talked, and like what we'd really like to do is we'd really like to like buy a house and then just basically demo it out and then give it away, just fix it, make it perfect for somebody, and just give back, because we're obviously like we buy a lot of we're both active in the market as well, so that's like something that we do that a lot of our skin's in the game, like we're gonna buy too,
right?
So it's a little bit different.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's amazing because you guys don't even publicize that too much either, because I know some people, they just do philanthropic stuff just to say they do it, and just for the credibility, I guess, and oh yeah, he's doing such a great job, he's so nice, let me go use him as a title guy. No, you guys are just doing it because you genuinely want to do it.
Yeah, I don't know. There's probably some people in this business that don't like me, but I don't run into a lot of people that are like, that guy's an asshole. I don't get that a lot. I don't think you will. No, I don't think you will, because it's a pretty genuine approach. Like if you really are a nice guy and you really do care about people getting their deals completed and getting paid, and you really do care about your people maybe being able to buy a nicer house or drive a nicer car or actually make money in this business, then that goes a long way. So I feel like that I do that.
Yeah.
And I feel like Nick does that too, so it's important.
Yeah, you guys are great, especially with helping us, grow, because, we came to you for resources, who can we call for this? What kind of, people do we need for this transaction? Or, you were just there every step of the way. Every time we had a question, we just call you,
Yeah, no, obviously that's what we do. Yeah. I appreciate the phone calls. Any calls that we get that are, rooted in the deals that we're trying to get done, I appreciate them. We like to talk about them. Obviously, we're not one of these shops that are going to reach out every time something changes in the file. It's more or less look, give it to us. It's going to get done. If you want to communicate through the process, if something pops up that you need to talk about, then you have full access to me or anybody else on the team. We've got 20 people there. You can call any of them anytime.
Mm-hmm. He's a great guy to know when you're first starting too.
Great.
I had a question, my first listing, I had a question about some appraisal gap thing, I think it was, and I called him on my way home. And we sat and talked for a half hour, because I didn't know what appraisal was, I didn't know anything, I was new, and he talked me through it.
Everybody at some point,
and then
everybody at some point in this business is new.
Exactly.
And if you don't ask questions, you're never going to really know the answers. So it's really important that while you're learning your craft, that you have somebody that you can lean on, that they're not going to think Joey, you're an idiot. You know what I mean? It's going to be this is what you need to do. This is how you do it. And then I would say the other thing that's really helped me is, I've grown up around this business. My mom's retired, but she was a realtor for 30, 40 years as a single mom. And I saw how important it was that that we could close shit on time.
Right.
If you're a mom or anybody and you have bills that are coming due and you're on a commission-based job, it's really important that these deals get closed when they're supposed to get closed. It just is. Yeah. It is. Yeah. And I don't think fundamentally really anybody else looks at it that way, which is crazy. These shops that I've been in, it's just it'll close when it closes. And that's just not, that's not good enough for what we're trying to do.
Right.
It's not going to be good enough.
If you're, you got to give back to those.
There's got to be some sense of urgency in there to get
Right.
to get people paid. If there's
Yeah.
not, then you don't fit the culture.
Exactly.
I can just see little Stiggy like running up to mommy, mommy, I want a toy. Mommy's like, no, this fucking deal isn't closing.
Yeah, no, I mean,
It's the fucking title guys.
You know, I've heard that lots of times
Yeah.
when I was a kid. Like, what are they doing? Why can't you know what I mean? So I mean, it sticks in your mind. It resonates when you're doing a deal when you know somebody needs to get the check. You want to get them their check.
And he's like, wait, Mom, don't worry. I'm going to open up a kick-ass title
Don't
company
worry,
and pay these people on time.
I'll take it from here. We'll
Yeah.
get paid on time. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, when they asked him in school what he wants to be when he grow up.
There's always a hockey player. It was always a hockey player.
Really?
Yeah. It's always a hockey player. But then I ended up doing titles. So, but I'm happy with
I
it.
don't think any 10-year-old would say title company.
No
Absolutely
10-year-old.
not. No.
No
It's the
10-year-old would
most
say that.
sophisticated 10-year-old you'd ever meet.
Yeah.
They would not want to do it, you know. But it really is it's a fun profession. I think if somebody's out there listening to get into, I would say definitely, you know, it really is a fun profession. There's a lot of sense of worth there, and I mean, it can be a gratifying job if you can develop a clientele that you can help, and you're their go-to guy. It's a cool thing.
If anyone's interested, we'll give them your number.
Yeah, you can call.
In case
Come
you
on.
new agents haven't got the memo yet, we're saying you got to hit up Black Tie Title when it
Yeah.
comes to starting out.
Black tie title.
Yeah, if you're starting out, I would say definitely let me help you out. Probably help you.
Yeah, even if you're not just starting out.
But yeah, if you're not, I can definitely help you. Then I can. Definitely, I can help any of you. Believe me,
Yeah.
I can help any of you.
This guy's the real deal.
The real deal.
Yeah.
It's
I am the
crazy
real
'cause
deal.
You've seen it all. Like you're able to. What I've noticed by hanging out with you is like you're able to understand like the starting point, the midpoint, and the end point. Like you've been through all of those like situations. You're able to communicate with everybody on like their own level. Like I was just talking to Alex about this yesterday. Like you're able to dumb yourself down to talk to us sometimes because you know we don't really know what's going on too much. You know, in the business for 3 years now, like. I feel like if you were with like a 15-year veteran like in the business, you know, you're able to chat on their level and, you know, kind of meet their standards with that.
Oh yeah, no.
100%. I think that's a superpower that I don't even know if you realize you have it, but just the ability to communicate to people on all levels.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I mean, if you know if you're really confident in what you're doing and you understand your job, then I mean, you can talk to anybody about it. I mean, look, when I go to talk to people, I don't just rip into title and then we just start talking about title because it's just a lot of people just don't care, and that's fine, and I get that, and so it's not like my main focus, like talking about title. This is what we need to do. This is how we do that. It just a lot of times that shit doesn't matter to people, but what does matter is that they deal with somebody that knows what they're doing and knows how to get the deals closed. So that's
Right.
that's a big deal. So I think that
Stiggy
that's,
is your guy.
if I can help, I can be of service. I'll definitely help anybody.
So what is your approach of like attracting like new agents to your business?
Texas
So-
Day, Brazil.
So no, yeah. No. So I think that like we work the files, both sides, buy side, sell side, and I don't think a lot of these places do. Like we call out the lenders, we call out the directed agent that got pushed into title. Like we want to create relationships there, and it's really just finishing and doing your job. Like anybody that's had a deal in our shop, you're getting called. You might not be the reason the deal came in there, but you were pliable enough to get drug into title, and then. You know, the very least we can do is thank you for allowing it to come to us. And then if we've done a great job, which I'm very confident that we have, then hopefully we can keep you on the platform. If you have a provider that you're happy with, that's also fine. I don't ever lay on people about, oh, you know, you got to do business. I don't do any of that stuff. You know what I mean? My business is very organic. People either, you know, they really like the approach, or maybe there's some people that don't. If they don't, then they're just not my client. That's it. You know what I mean?
Fun fact, we actually cold called you.
That's
Kevin-
true.
Kevin did.
That
Oh,
is
yeah.
a true story.
I
I liked it.
We were still early on, and it was right after we moved from
Wait,
Montana.
you cold called
They
me?
cold
I
called
you.
me,
Here's
yeah.
the story.
Really?
Yeah.
Here's the story. I did a deal with a buyer, and we had just moved over to EXP, so we didn't really know any title companies because when we were at Howard Hanna, they force barristers on you. So we get an email. Ryan emails me after, like, hey, let's get lunch. I think we could create some synergy. And at the time, Kevin and I were banging the phones in his parents' basement.
Smack.
And we just happened to call Ryan, I think his mom's old house or something.
It was
like that.
a house that I had flipped in Middleburg
Yeah,
Heights.
either way, we were calling around either one of our listings or one of our recent sales, and then I'm sitting there and he's calling this guy named Ryan, who they're chopping it up, and I overhear it. And I'm like, I just set a meeting to eat lunch with them like next Wednesday.
Yeah, I remember that.
I was like, oh,
That's
shit.
crazy.
Shoot.
Next Wednesday? Yeah, next Wednesday.
All right,
Well,
all right, sweet.
That's a perfect like indicator of like, you know, when you do reach out and you make the final touches and you make the calls, like that's how these relationships start. They got to start somewhere. They're not going to start if you don't pick up a phone or I don't pick up a phone. The relationship can never start.
Exactly.
You have to be willing to do that. If you're not going to bang the phones, like I've got 2 or 3 young guys that work for me, and I tell them, bang the fucking phones. That's all I want you doing, banging the fucking phones. I'll take care of everything else. You guys set up the appointments, let me handle it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Just bang the phones. Because you make those touches, they've already been in the shop. If you make those touches, when I get to sit down with them, we're already ahead of the game. And we'll be in a good spot.
Tell you what,
Set the appointment.
Set the fucking appointment, man.
after that cold call I gave Ryan, he had a hard on for me ever since. He was like, God damn, who's this new cat coming in just killing the game? Yeah.
This dude bangs the phone.
This dude
It's
smacks
I
the
feel like you're a good
caller.
cold caller.
Huh?
I feel
Yeah.
like you're a good cold caller.
Dude, I don't know. I was rough.
Do you still do it?
No.
Why not?
Honestly, I have no excuse.
Too good for it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's
I got better
that's
than
where you
that.
get all your you know what I mean, banging like expireds and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
obviously
expireds,
there's not
FISBOs,
been
yeah.
obviously there's not been as many, but banging like for sale by own, any of that stuff. Like, I mean, look, I'm not a realtor, but if I was, I would be up everybody's ass that was a FISBO or everybody's ass that was an expired.
Yeah.
You probably would call on them 6 times a day.
1,000, it doesn't matter. If they don't tell you to fuck yourself, then you're not calling them enough.
That's actually facts.
That is a.
I did have
Clip
a couple.
that.
I did have a couple people. Yeah, we're gonna clip that for sure.
Yeah.
I did have a couple people tell me to go fuck myself though.
That's
I will say.
fine.
Yeah.
You're doing your job then.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not glamorous work and nobody's going to be like, "Oh, I was fucking banging the phones all day." But you know what? If you can garner 1 or 2 clients out of that, it's
Exactly.
worth it.
You
It's
make
worth
100
it.
calls, get 2 or 3 appointments.
It's worth it.
That's a win
You're
for me.
never gonna totally be able to avoid the people that are pissed.
Right.
Right, yeah.
You call enough people are gonna tell you to fuck yourself.
Yeah, you can't take it to heart.
Yeah. It's more
Gotta
so
accept
just
it.
They're having a bad day. They're having a worse day than you. So keep it that way.
Yeah.
Just move on.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Give it to you. Yeah. I like that idea though. Maybe like instead of shooting for how many listings you can, or deals you can get a day or like conversations you have a day, you go for how many fuck yous can you get in a day, and like that's like how you know you're doing a
You're
good
you're
job.
gonna get some. I mean,
Perspective, looking at things differently.
Yeah,
you're
I mean,
you're going for the fuck yous.
Gotta
instead
get
of
more
trying to
fuck
do
yous,
it.
yeah.
I've had a couple agent fuck yous, and I mean that's just the way it goes. You know, I've had a couple, and maybe 2 of them were earned, and it's like, you know, I don't feel bad about it. You just move on. They're just not your guy.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, those aren't people you want to work with anyway.
No.
I feel like because every time you go into like a call session, your mindset's different. But like just having the mindset of, I'm gonna get no's. Like I'm 25 no's away from getting a yes. It's like if your mindset's on that, it's way more easier to make calls.
I like
You know
that
what I mean?
actually.
Yeah.
I really like that. Because it takes away that fear of that rejection, and you're more so, like I've noticed, like even going on a roller coaster, right? The more I was like huddled up in my seat, like the scarier the ride was, right? But the more you embrace it, like your arms are up, you're flying, like you're like, shit, this is so fun. So same thing with this, like if you're embracing that negativity and rejection, like I feel like you're able to push past it more. You know what I mean? Instead of being scared about it, like, oh no, what if I get a no? Like it's more so, when am I gonna get this no? And how many more no's am I away? Like you were saying,
Yeah.
from that yes.
And Ryan, I don't know, are your guys that are hitting the phones, are they doing it together? Like
Yeah, I want them doing it as a team. It's a lot more fun that way.
Because one thing I've noticed, I mean, we haven't done it often, but like when we do it together in this room or whatever, it's just so much more fun and relaxed. Or it's like someone
Yeah.
says "fuck."
Me and
you,
Alex are
someone-
sitting in here calling
It's
expired,
so much more
FISBOs.
relaxed.
You guys were all
If you're
better.
sitting there by yourself in a room calling, it can get
It's
so
tough.
daunting.
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah.
nice.
So generally, after you get through the first 3 or 4 that are tough, then I think, you know, you kind of get comfortable and it's easier. But like, yeah, I mean, I do think like if you can set it up like a team atmosphere where it's 2 guys or a couple guys that can compete with each other and kind of have some fun with it, that seems to be the way to go. That works well, I think.
See, I want to just have the whole team in here, all of us,
Do round
go
robin phone calls.
next one, bang them out, next guy, bang them out, next call, and just feed off each other's energy. listen to their what they say, listen to other rejections, and then just go off that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the best way to do it.
I love that. Yeah, that reminds me of this cheer practice I had. So when I was in cheer, they have us standing like lines and like going back and forth, and like the person in front of you had to do a back tuck, then you had to do a back tuck, then the next person had to do a back tuck. So like I just watched this line like coming down to me, I'm like, oh fuck, I'm next. So then here I am, like I haven't done this ever, like, and then boom, just because you see everyone else doing it and you kind of get the idea of what's going on, you're able to land it. Like
Yeah.
same concept.
Just feeding off energy.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it is. Yeah, you're feeding off the energy. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess we can wrap it up with this. I know Ryan, awesome guy, does very well in business, and on the personal side, I've learned a lot from him. So Joey and Kevin, I guess we'll flip it to this. What have you guys learned from Ryan since the time that you've known him?
Always give back, man. This guy gives more than any other guy I've known, and I'm not the only one that says that. I know he's helped me out tremendously in the past, and he's a very, very generous guy. I will always do business with him as long as I'm in this business, and I would recommend him to any other agent that is looking for a solid title company.
No, I appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the most generous thing you can give is your knowledge. You know what I mean? If you can give people what you have in there, it really goes a long way.
That's the same thing with me, man. Like, I honestly would not be this successful in this business if it weren't for you and your advice. A lot of the things that you've shown us along the way and, created for us, like that's, it goes a long way. And, like Joey was saying, you're always going to get our business.
Well, thank you guys.
Yeah,
Thank you.
It's amazing to have you around. So thank you for coming on the podcast today.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Really
having me. I appreciate it. I've never done one, so I
That's
appreciate
fun.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I can absolutely echo what you guys said. I mean, I read a book called The Go-Giver, and I feel like when I think of that book, I feel like you embody that. The book's all about just like the most successful people, the happiest people are the ones who give the most.
Yeah.
And I think the saying is, give enough people what they want, and you could have anything in the world or something
Yeah.
like that.
You have anything you want. Yeah.
To the degree that you give people what they want, you could have what you want.
Mhm.
So I feel like you just embody that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. It's awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah.
That's what I'm shooting for.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So if anyone's watching and wants to get into horse betting or has a horse race coming up, what's a quick tip you can give?
Don't do it. No, I would say just shoot me a text. If you have some questions on horses, then definitely shoot me a text.
We're all going to the Racino with Ryan on
Yeah,
a
we'll
weekend.
go out
Let's
there.
do it.
We'll go
I'm
out there
down.
and pick some horses.
I'm
I'll
down.
show you guys how to make
That'd
some
be
money
a
out there.
problem.
That'd be awesome.
After
so
you do
fun.
it though once, you make a little money. You're gonna want to go all the time.
Oh,
so.
man.
Yeah.
That's a nightmare.
Yeah.
It's a great game. Beautiful pageantry, and it's just a very intense game. There's no feeling like. So obviously, like I own some horses too, and like when they win, there's just no feeling that is even comparable to that thing crossing the line first. None.
The
Zero.
winner. That's mine.
Yeah, that's unbelievable feeling. It's just such a huge rush. It's probably like doing your very first transaction and getting your check. But it's that over and over again. So it's good.
Can you rename a horse if you buy it?
You can if you if you buy them at the baby sale. You can sometimes they name them. That's usually bad luck to rename them, is what they say.
Really?
But I've renamed them and I've done fine.
Get a
So
little black tie on.
Fuck that.
yeah, I mean I don't know, the black tie horse. I don't know. I got the
There you go.
yeah. I mean I don't know. Make some black tie silks or something. I don't
Yeah,
know. Get
yeah.
something out there.
That'd be
Not a
sweet.
bad idea.
That'd be sweet.
Not a bad idea at all.
Cool. Wrap us up, Joseph.
All right, Ryan. Well, I appreciate you coming out. I'm sure all of us do too, and everyone listening probably got some bombs
value
dropped
out
on them from your knowledge. So
There were some
we
big bops
appreciate
in
it.
this one.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Love it.
So
Play us out.
all right, guys. That was another Real to Real podcast. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys.